Good morning, and it's a new day, and at the moment we are currently fitting the motorhome windows into this camper van. So we've put 2 in now, we know what we're doing, we're happy. So we've done the small side one above the bed and one of the rear ones. Charles just out there cleaning the silicone on the outside, and they're pretty easy to install, to be fair. So this is the back of the window. Spin it, so this is the bottom, your sides and the top, and you have like this U channel here, look. So we fill this with a PU silicone, and then that just slots straight in, and then on the inside you have this mounting plate that sits over it, and then you screw through these holes here, and then that just sort of pulls them together like a bit of a sandwich. So yeah, very easy to do. Said we've done 2 in about 10 minutes, so we've got 1, 2, 3, we got 3 more windows to do, and then we've got the skylight to do. Now the skylight, I've already done the actual flange plate. See if I can show you. So that's up there ready, so I can just now do the Max Fan base plate, and we can get that silicone down and get some screws into that as well. And for that I use Obi-Wan. It's like Sikaflex 522, so it acts as both an adhesive and a silicone. It's got flex properties in it, the same as the stuff I've used for the windows is a Puraflex 40 from Tool Station, and again that's a sealant and an adhesive, but it also has flex properties in it, so proper job. So yeah, we've got 3 more to do. What do you think of them so far, love?
I think they're really nice.
They're so low profile, aren't they? In fact, let me show you the outside of them.
I've just cleaned that one, so no judging.
Yeah, this was just being cleaned, but just look how low profile that is.
They're brilliant.
Mint.
They've got blinds and everything in these ones, haven't they?
Yeah, you've got the built-in blinds and fly screens, so yeah, I'm impressed with those. Right, should we do some more?
Come on then, we've got, crack on.
Now I have got all the windows have been cut out, they've all been put in. So we've got 1 above the bed, 1 each in the rear doors, and then we've got 1, and we've done 1 in the sliding door as well. Now I mean, it's a bit dusty because it's in the unit, but look how low profile those are. I'm really impressed with them, they're nice. And then this morning's jobs, oh, if you remember in the last video I mentioned there was a lot of damp in here and all the screws were rusting, and I found the problem. So inside where that racking was, which you see me take out, there was like a wooden racking system in here, and they had some angle brackets going in through the cross members, which is why I couldn't see it from the inside. But those brackets, when they screwed up into them, they actually screwed right through the roof, both this side and that side over there. So that's where all the excess water has been coming from. So chances are that's actually been there since the day they picked it up, because they would have put that racking in, as soon as they had it. So at least I found it. I've sanded it all down to get rid of the rust. We've red oxided it, and then just put a treatment on top both sides. I've also fitted the Avtech 5G system, because this is having a 5G Wi-Fi. The 2 Max fans are in. Now the Max fans have actually got to come back out so I can mark the solways panels from up top. So this is what we're trying to do now, is just get everything done on the outside. So we're doing the solar panels are next. This has got 375 watt Victron solar panels, and then we've just got an electric hookup point and the water filler point to do. So I'm going to do all of that. As soon as that's done, I got a last little bit of electric cabling to do inside, Then we got on the solway panels. Then the floor can go down, and then I'm on to my favourite part, which is the furniture building. These solar panels, I actually had these for a really, really good price. I paid, I think it was Bimble Solar and the Victron, £80 a panel. I don't know if that was plus VAT, but I just remember 80 quid. But either way, even if that's plus VAT, that's a bargain. Really good prices on them, and obviously they're quality panels. So gonna get these on. I didn't get a fitting kit from them for them, so we're gonna go down to Screwfix and get some brackets that are suitable for the job and get these up. Hello and welcome back. It's another day. So what did we get up to yesterday? I got the solar on the roof, we got the entry gland on the roof, I put the Wi-Fi on the roof, I also did the water filler point and also done the electric hookup point on the other side. So what I wanted to do was just get all these external things all fitted. It's basically all the holes in the van, and then this morning we've taken it outside. It was absolutely hammering it down, so normally I'd put the hose on it, but it was hammering it down, so I didn't need to. Hence why it's wet, and that is all absolutely perfect. Now we've just been finishing off the electrics inside, and I gotta say, I have gone through, I worked out nearly 150 meters of cabling between 1mm, 2mm and 230 volt cable, and my solar cables and my fridge 6mm cable. The amount of cabling we've gone through in this van is bonkers. So the next job is the solway panels, and I gotta admit, I kind of feel like I've been stung a little bit. So I give them a call, because this is the first time I fitted this kit, and the guy told me the full kit was, it was like 1100 quid plus VAT, and he explained how the roof, he explained, to be fair, how everything had to be done, and I was more than confident with it. And it's arrived, we've just opened it up to figure out where all the pieces are. So like this one is for the top there, those two there for at the top. I was like, well, where's all the bottom pieces? Actually, where's the ceiling? So I ring him and he's like, yeah, you gotta get all that extra. I was like, well, why didn't you tell me that at the time? The guy was telling me all about it, but he didn't tell me I had, like, they send you these 3mm panels and you gotta cut them all out yourself. I was like, yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's not what I expected, but I can do that, it's not a problem. But you got to buy these panels on top, so by the time you, and on the doors you only get the top half, so you don't get the bottom half. So I'm like, well, that's not a full kit then, is it? You're selling me half a kit. Bear in mind, that was 1300 quid just for that bit. And then to buy the bits I need to actually finish it off has just cost me an extra 500 quid. So I'm not amused, because said I deliberately rang them and had the conversation with them, so I knew A, what I was doing, B, what the price of the kit was, because obviously I've quoted a price to the customer. So yes, I feel like I've been stung. No point whinging, this is what the customer wants, this is what I gotta fit. So I've got them all positioned, so we're gonna start in the corner on this side, work our way up, and obviously I gotta do all the cutouts for the windows. The ceiling still has a 5.5mm ply line, which I've already got, and then their 3mm panels get stuck on top, and apparently it does go into the headliner of the overcab section up there. Now, Screwfix have got a sale on, it's their Black Friday sale, and one of my subscribers come to pay me a visit yesterday, Andy. He showed me, he's a Makita man, but he showed me a little tool he's got, and I had to go, so I went and got me one of these blowers. Only a little thing, but boy, does it pack a punch. If the van's soaking and it's outside and I need to bring it in, I can dry it off, you know, get the worst of it off. Using it, all the sawdust in the unit, we can blow to the front. And, watch this now. So, 40-year-old Charlie. Babe.
What?
20-year-old Charlie. I was amused.
Some of us are trying to work by you know, clearing stuff out.
Yeah, Joe, I've been here for 5 hours today. All I've actually done today is run a couple of cables. It's just been one of those days.
And loads of whinging. He's done a lot of whinging today
Yeah,
as well.
I have done. It's just been one of them days, guys, where no matter what you try and do, you get distracted in one way or the other. We were just leaving to go to Screwfix. I got to the bottom of like the road that takes me onto the main road, and there's a pallet force truck there, and I said, I bet you he's trying to find me. So I gotta go check. Went out there. You have to unit 10. So we had to come back to bring him up here. That was for the fridge for this van. Now some people seem to find us okay and others seem to struggle. We're trying to get us added onto Google and Apple Maps because it's a new unit. It's not, I don't even think it's on the Royal Mail sort of directory yet. Fun. So I think today is get our heads around these solway panels, because I said we got some cutouts to do for the windows. So we're gonna start with this big panel here is going in this section because it's minimal cutouts. I got the Wi-Fi power supply and then the antenna aerials to come into the Wi-Fi box, and then we've got 230 for the sockets in the ladder but here, and that looks like it ends about there. Now I know these cables are going to come down in this panel here because we got 3 light switches for the max fan at the back, max fan at the front, and also underwall unit lighting. And then we got cables coming down here because these are all going above the kitchen this side. I got more cables down there because there's going to be sockets and switches down there. Got cable up here, one's for the projector, electric projector screen, that's for underwall unit lighting. And then you got the bed lights. Honestly, the amount of cabling was absolutely bonkers. I mean, I did the Crafter and that was an all electric van, but this one for some reason just seems to be a lot more cables. I think there's a lot more points on here, and it's just little things like water levels in the tanks, you know, the meters for those. We're doing also electric dump valves on these, and then projectors, USB sockets everywhere, so yeah, it's a lot. On that note, I'm waffling. I got some solway panels to fit. Good morning guys, it's Wednesday today. So what we did yesterday is we got the rear pillar done in the solway panels. These weren't too bad actually, so you got your clips fit nicely over the holes were already sort of pre-drilled for that, and this was in 3 parts. You've got the pillar section here, and then this screws over there so you got access to your lights. Then you got the top section, and then you got your other pillar but here. Then what we did was we put the first one on up here, which is this panel here, and I noticed there's quite a bit of a gap but here. What we're going to do this morning is we're going to put a batten on this, because when we had that fixed up and I noticed it was quite a decent gap along there, and I thought that would be good for the wall units to go into. So I think that's how Solway have probably designed it, to be fair. So we'll have a nice solid fixing point when it comes to doing those. So we're just going to cut a batten to run along this up to sort of here, and then we can put the main panel back on, which there's no sort of fittings to come through that one, so that will be done. And then we've got a small panel just here, but this is where I've got some light switches and that to do. So I think we'll get the cutouts, we'll mark it up, get the cutouts on that, so I can just bring my cables through. I might even just second fix those points so they're done, just to make it a bit easier. So we're gonna just do this one wall all the way up to here. We have got the FT200 Dometic fly screen to fit, and I need to speak to Solway to see if that can actually be fitted after the Solway kit. I just think it'll be nicer to have the Solway behind and then have the fly screen on top. Everything I've read so far says do the fly screen first, then you panel afterwards, but I'm hoping the Solway, because it's so thin, will just sneak in behind it for a nicer finish. So as I said yesterday, we only get the top halves for these kits, which was a little disappointing. I mean, if you go on their website and you read all the small print, you do finally get to the point where it does say it's only for the top halves. I knew I had to order the bottom halves for the doors. That was clear, but the guy did also explain that to me on the phone. But I said, when I was on the phone, the way he discussed it, he was telling me about doing the roof and that, and saying it was the full kit. Yeah, I was led to believe. And not only that, when you see the photos, you can see all the bottom halves, the ceiling. So when you see full kit, you think it's the full kit. So it works out then, if you're gonna buy the real full kit from them, it's nearly $2,000, which I personally think is too expensive. I think it's good, it's decent. It's not worth $2,000, but that's just my opinion. I would have rather applied it and put our own coverings on there, but it's an experience. So I'm gonna get some batten on. Luckily I got loads of this roofing batten. I'm probably gonna have to pick up some more because that was actually for the floor. We're just gonna get this battened and start getting this up. So let me do that and I'll pick you up and show you what we're doing. Right, that's the batten on. Now's the fun part. Get this up by myself. Wish me luck. Okay, yeah, that was definitely a lot harder putting that up by yourself. But you can see where this comes in, nice little gap there, and that fits on it nicely. And then moulds are on the bottom. So you still get these little gaps here. So it's not a perfect fit on it. The moulding could be a little neater, but it'll do. I think do these cables through this next panel, which is this bit here, and that's that wall done. I said I've ordered the stuff for the bottom, but that's not going to be until the end of the week, maybe beginning of next week. I've got the top halves of all the doors, but we've got window cutouts on them, same as the first panel there, and a couple of electrical cutouts, and then you got that one as well. But I think this one comes in 3 parts, so that should be a bit easier. But I'm gonna wait for Charles to do them, because it's hard enough just doing a plain one with no cutouts by yourself. But the next one's small, so I'm gonna crack on with that one. Okay, so I've got pretty much all the panels on now. I've got just the one on the top half left to do, which is this one here. We've got quite a few cables in this one section. Over here, I've just done light switches. So this one here is a single. That's going to do the underwall cabinet lighting, and then I got another doubler here, which will do the back and the front max fan. And then on this panel, which is what I'm just prepping, so I've marked them out, and we've got, right, so that light switch is going to do the underwall lighting on the other side and turn the water pump on. That's a water meter, so we've got this to put in the fresh water tank, but I've bought the one where it's got like a spur off it as well, and that's connected to the waste water tank so that it'll tell him when it's full. So it just means that I can have readings off the 2 tanks, but only actually need one sort of socket up front, which is this one. So you can see, let's get some better light. So you can see on the left, here is your fresh water readings, and then this one here will tell us when that tank is full. I just think there's so many sockets in this fan, I want to try and keep them down to what's needed. And then here we've got a 12-volt cigarette lighter, because he said you may want to put a TV on there, a USB and a 230 socket. So I'm going to just drill those out. That can get fitted then with the cables coming through. I might even, to be honest with you, just terminate those and just get them all fitted on. I'm still waiting for the delivery now from Solway for the bottom halves. So what we can do next then is ply line this roof, which will be good, so I can get that ply lined, get rid of all these cables and get them routed where they need to be. Now, I know I was moaning about these panels. They're alright. I just think they could be better, you know, as little things. Like where this edge is, you got to mar it up with the metal here, and then the rubber seal goes over the 2 of them. But by the time you get up to this corner, like, it's so far off, but you can see from the design, like, it should come across to about here, then needs to come down a good sort of 15 mil. That's not going to be going in, but luckily on that area there's a fly screen, a Dometic fly screen going in, which I'm still waiting for, and I can't put the floor in till I've got that. But at least, you know, it's going to cover that sort of stuff, but you shouldn't have to do that. There's certain parts that are like, it's nice, it looks nice, it's aesthetically pleasing, and then there's, I just like, it could be moulded a little bit nicer. It just needs that extra little bit of work just to make it a bit sweeter. But yes, let's get this panel done, and then we can ply line this ceiling. So this bit keeps falling out of this drill. Now, to be fair, this drill is a good 6-7 years old and he's done me proud, but the clutch is starting to slip on it, but also this chuck is on its last legs. Bits keep falling out of it. Same as my impact driver, that's on its way. So they've done me proud. I've had them for years and they've been hammered every single day. But I haven't used it yet, but I've got the new impact driver. That's just waiting up there. I was like, do I want to start using it, or shall I just wait for the impact to proper clap out? But I think it's time for that combi drill to retire and get that one replaced as well. Right, so I've got my hose out, so I'm going to clean up all this burr. It's the problem when you cut in plastic, it likes to melt. Now on the jigsaw cutting, I'm using a bigger tuft blade. I don't know if you can see that. And that's been doing a nice clean cut. It's not melting the plastic. If you use a finer tuff on this, which is what the hole saw is, it melts it a little bit. Or it doesn't melt it, but it melts the cut out, the burr. Then you've got to go around and clean it all off. So we'll get this cleaned off. It can then get fitted, get the cables through. And I think I'm just going to terminate all the electrical points because it's just another job done. Right, I got the electric points all in and we've done the light switches over there. So now we're on to the roof. Now the way you got to do the roof with these solway panels is you've actually got a 5.5mm ply line the roof, and that's all screwed into the battens that you've got to run the lengthways of the van, and then we ply line it. So what I done is I got this piece here, just a offcut, and just scribed it to the back of the door because it's a bit of a funky scribe. I transferred that onto this piece then that I've already cut to width, and I've just done the cutout for the skylight. Now I suppose I gotta try and get this up here. I've already done my supply to the actual fan part, so I need to tidy that up. This is for the light, and you can see, yeah, it's long, and the reason it's long is because it enters here. If the entry for the light was over in this corner, I've just done it long enough so that it would reach that corner if I needed it to. So I think before I do any more, we'll get the shade out, we'll see where exactly that point is so that I can get this cable ready to receive that. We'll tidy up this one and then we can bring the max fan in, and then I'll bring the ply in and get that fitted, and that should be good. So you may have noticed there's quite a few more ads in these videos, and it's not just this channel. You may have noticed it across several other channels. YouTube have basically changed the way adverts work, and we now have no control over it. Well, we have control over certain aspects, like we can put ads in the middle of a video, we can just have them at the beginning and the end, or you can choose to not have any ads, but YouTube still put them at the beginning and the end. Some have said they stick them in the middle anyway, but whereas before I don't like the really long ads, you know, and they're like up to 30 seconds long, and I just keep them to 5 seconds. YouTube have now stopped us from doing that, so I'm sorry if you're getting some long ads and some short ones. It's something YouTube have done as a whole for all content creators, and we just, I guess, gotta live and bear with it. Right, let's get this up. This should be fun by myself. Right, I'm gonna end this video here, guys. Join us next time and we'll get the roof on, get these bottoms all panelled out. We've also got the Dometic FT200 fly screen that fits across here. It's not like one of them web nets, it's a proper fly screen, and that's got to go in before the floor. We've got an electric step and the floor itself. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a bonkers 2 weeks, to be honest. It's taken me 2 weeks to get to this far on this fan, which is a lot longer than what it normally would. But I said there was so much cabling, and these solway panels need a lot more work. We've had 5 windows, we've had 2 max fans, we've got the solar with the solar intake, we've got the Wi-Fi on the roof, plus the water filler, and the electric hookup is all in. So it's been a busy week, and it's just all the fiddly sort of nasty stuff is done. So I just want to get these last bits done, and then we're on to my favourite part, which is the woodwork.